Everyone. So I'm here today with Valencia, my doll Chateau Olivia, and if you were unaware that I had finally renamed her, I did. Her name, of course, used to be Bonnie, but it ended up not suiting her like at all, and then her character completely changed to the point where like Bonnie just was not a fit. But it's Valencia now, and it makes so much sense for her story because I had always wondered who had turned her into a vampire, and I always had figured it was her husband. But based on my naming system, I was like, with his name now being Gail, that doesn't make much sense. But it does now make sense because she was actually turned into a vampire by if you watched her background video, she was actually turned into a vampire by the ballet director. And that makes so much more sense because he would have done that as he was weirdly obsessed with her, and he more than likely, you know, was like, oh, you can live forever, blah, 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 blah. And, and it also makes sense due to my naming system. If you remember that video on how I named my dolls based on the alphabet, the V vampires have a special trait in their bloodline where they're all very artistic. And they either, you know, they paint or write or sing. In her case, she dances, and she's very passionate about it. And that's how they are in that bloodline. They're very passionate about their art. So it ended up making complete sense. And it was so accidental because I just was editing pictures of her, and I was like, oh my God, your name's Valencia. And I think it's because I've always loved that name. I just never had a character to put that name on until now, and I'm so happy. So her name's Valencia, and I just adore this girl. But yeah, I'm here with her today just to rant because I don't know, I've been feeling very, very frustrated the last couple days, and I figured it out that I think what is really frustrating me, besides the weather, it's hard to be motivated in winter for me. I actually do have seasonal depression, but it's more like it's just I like getting out of the house and going down to Michael's and looking around for some inspiration and things like that. And I haven't been able to do anything like that at all because of how much snow and the fact that I take public transportation. So it's just been hard enough getting around without all the added crap. So I don't know, but besides that, it's just I noticed that there's lots of projects on my plate, and I think what is happening is I'm getting overwhelmed, and it's frustrating me because with the weather being as cold as it is, I can't really do face-ups, but I want to do face-ups. I want to sew, but it's time consuming and I haven't had the time. And then on top of that, all the small projects I want to do just haven't really been working out. And I just got, I got so fed up. It was yesterday when I got just so fed up that I was just like, I feel done. I feel done with my dolls at the moment. And I'm not really feeling any better. I know I will. I know I will. But it's just super, I hate when this happens and I feel uninspired by my dolls because I'm just so frustrated at things I want to do for them but just can't. And yesterday what pushed me over the edge was the dumbest thing. It really was. But it was two little things that I was trying to do for my soon-to-be boy. One was trying to get these Monstro design glasses I got a long while ago for him when I was first thinking of his character. And I think I got the glasses even before I got him. But I was unaware they would scratch his sealant, which I had tested them on him before actually doing the face up, and it did scratch the sealant. So I was like, well, I want him to wear these glasses. Let's see what I can do to try and make it not do that. So I tried duct tape as like kind of like a barrier, but it ended up looking really awful. Like it just looked like this slapdash horrible job of a thing, and it just looked awful. So I undid that for the most part, and then I was like, well, maybe if I file down the edges and make it more smooth, it won't do it. But I couldn't find a nail file, so for some reason that just frustrated me to a point where I just stopped. I was just like, I'm so done. I'm so done. Especially since I couldn't go out to get a nail file because it started freezing rain and ice was everywhere, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So this is why I hate winter so much. So there was that, and then on top of that, I wanted to give him his piercing. But for the life of me, I could not find the jewelry, the small amount of jewelry making supplies I have, where I could have sworn I had a jump ring, but I honestly just couldn't find any of it. So I couldn't even do the piercing, and I just got so frustrated that I just, for the rest of the day, I was just shut down. I was so annoyed. And whenever I get like that, where I'm annoyed with projects I want to do but can't do and all this blah blah blah, I want to do something else for my dolls, so I want to buy them things. But unfortunately, I am broke. I'm broke until my tax money comes in. So I just got even more frustrated because I'm like, I can't buy them anything, and I really wanted to buy something for my soon-to-be boy, but the two items he needs are eyes and this sweater from Dorset Clothing that I want to get. And the sweater, I think, with shipping is $30. Now the Mako eyes, I was going to join a go, but it closed before I thought I had time to join it, like I'd have my tax money by then, but I must have read the date wrong or something, because it is closed, so I can't get in on that. And I think those eyes are around $30 actually, with, like, if you join a go and with PayPal fees. So that's $60 right there that I just do not have. So I was getting frustrated about that, and it was just, it's been a frustrating time in the hobby, and I really, really want my inspiration back. I wanted to come back so bad, because there's things I can do. There's plenty of things I can do for my dolls and want to do, but just getting there, getting the field to do, the want to do it, is just eluding me. But hopefully that solves itself soon. I'm already feeling better now that I'm ranting it out, and it sounds sort of silly. But I don't know, I thought maybe you guys would understand. I've ranted about that enough in other videos where, you know, I just go through periods like this, and it's just today, though, it was just especially potent. Like these last 2 days, it's been especially potent, just my uninspiration. And I think sometimes that's why people get so interested in other dolls. Like right now it's A-zones. Before it was like pull-ups, and, you know, I even saw people getting to Figmas, and I just realized it's just because it's not like they're completely complication free, but they feel it compared to BJDs. And most of them, you know, are straight out of the box, just awesome. You don't really have to do much with them unless you really want to. While BJDs, unless you get a full set, which I have not done in a very long time, there's work to be done. And when you don't feel like doing that work, it just feels like, it feels very daunting, and like, not a waste, I wouldn't necessarily put it that way, but it kind of almost does. Like you're like, why did I get this? You know, why did I get this if I'm not going to feel like putting the time into it? And I know that's a very big statement to make, but sometimes I feel that way. And I don't know, it's just, oh God. It's why I felt extra bad today, when I realized that I would rather, once I get my tax money, put the money into getting my soon-to-be boy together, rather than getting the make it your own pull-up that I wanted to get. And it made me sad because I really did want that, because I wanted something very uncomplicated and adorable that I could also customize, but it wasn't a big to-do. But that will not be happening, and I will deal with it because I gotta. I do want to get my mojo back, and I think I'd rather focus on getting my mojo back for my dolls rather than get a distraction from them. Because I feel like I would let myself just continue to be distracted. And I really do want to work on my collection and get it to somewhere where I don't feel like I have, like, I don't know, where I want to get my collection to where I feel very happy when I look around at them and like I'm accomplishing something and my characters are coming to life, etc. So I don't know. It's just been a rough couple days. I did manage, though, to get a couple dresses for my incoming Leak World Mini, who has been rumored, and I've seen it a couple times, can wear Blythe dresses. So I found these two adorable, like, A-line Blythe dresses for really cheap. They're like $8 each. They're really cheap, and they're like 70s inspired patchwork quilty looking dresses. So adorable. And I was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and get these for her and try it out on her, and hopefully they'll work, because she is essentially, she's big hipped because she's on a mini Leak World art body. But because the dress is A-line and on top she is tiny, it should work. I mean, I've seen it work, but we'll see when she actually gets here, which is going to be hopefully middle of next month, because as soon as I get the funds for her layaway next month, like to complete her layaway next month, I'm just going to put the money down on her and not, you know, wait until I told Leak World that I would do it on the 1st of every month, but I'm not going to wait. So hopefully she'll be home next month, and so I can try that out and hope she works. Her name's going to be Flim Flam, by the way. She is part of Flu Flu and Flea Flea's story, my other art body girls. And she is a big troublemaker, and she gets into a lot of trouble, and they're kind of her keepers. They're supposed to keep her in check. Do they? Most of the time. But yeah, she's going to be a big pile of trouble. I can't wait to get her. But I don't know. That did feel refreshing for a moment. It felt like I was making some sort of progress, even though technically it's not really progress at all, but it's okay. It's okay. It's something. It made me feel like, oh, I'm doing something doll related. But hopefully this mood passes quickly. It's going to be nicer this week, so I'm going to try and see if it's nice enough to do a face up or two, and maybe by, you know, by the end of all that I feel just better. But yeah, enough ranting from me. I'm going to go put on my pajamas, eat dinner, and watch more of The Following, because I became obsessed with that show. I decided to check out the first couple episodes, and I'm just breezing through it. I love it so much. So yeah, that is all for this video. Thank you so much if you listen to me rant and rave like a crazy person, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.